Salutations to all our future judges. In this video, we are going to hear the telephonic interview with Mr. Sairam Ganapathy. It's a great pleasure to have him here. He cleared his preliminary exam civil judge in the year 2018 in his first attempt. And in addition to this, he has also cleared the preliminary exam of IBPS. It's a great pleasure to have you here, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. It's immense pleasure to have a telephonic conversation with you, sir.
Sir, my first question to you is, from where did you get the idea of attending all these judicial exams?
Yes, sir. It was my passion, sir. During my college days, I used to admire the judge. When I used to work with my senior, I used to admire the judges who were sitting in dais, sir. From there, I got this inspiration.
So you saw the judges, and those judges inspired you, and they encouraged you to write the exams. So it's a great thing to know that particular aspect, sir. So my next question is, when you wanted to prepare for this exam, which subject did you start first? If you could remember, please tell me.
Yes, sir. The preparation is most essential part of this exam, sir. We have to give more dedication to this exam. First, we have to put a timetable for this exam, and we have to practice this in regular basis. Apart from the practice-oriented person, and for judiciary aspired person, there are certain differences, sir. We have to make a clear timetable accordingly based on your choice. It may be like a mark or based on the previous year question papers, sir.
Okay, so what you're trying to say is, any judicial aspirant needs to see the previous question papers and plan the subjects accordingly, and he needs to dedicate time accordingly.
Yes, sir.
It's a great thing to know, sir.
Or based on the syllabus which the mark has been allotted.
So you mean to say, like, if there are more marks allotted to a particular subject, then you should dedicate more time to that particular subject.
Yes, sir.
So it's nice to hear that, sir. Sir, my next question is, from your own personal experience, since that you have cleared the preliminary exam, how did you feel the level of competition in the preliminary exam? What did you feel about the level of competition you had in the preliminary exam?
So frankly speaking, the level of competition in South India basis is comparatively less than the North India basis, sir. During my tenure of clearing the exam, it was like 12,000 members were participating in the exam, and for the next main exam was nearly around just 1,000, sir. At the time, the paper was such a difficult, and it was opportunity to become a judge, sir.
Sir, my question is based, since that you had attended the exam and you have prior experience in getting a success. My question is, when you were attending the exam, after seeing the question paper, what was the first thing which came to your mind, sir?
First, I thanked my professor, sir, because the question pattern was like that, sir. The practice made for me was very useful for that exam, sir. Because I used to practice the questions on regular basis.
Okay. So you mean to say, like, your professors were guiding you and they were training you in this regard?
Yes, they were training, yes, sir. The pattern of questions were within the four questions, sir. It was like an assertion and reasoning, and choose the correct answer on the true or false, and on basis of statement and reason, sir. These were the types of questions.
Oh, these were the 4 categories of questions which you had in the exam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, is this the same pattern which is followed even now, or the pattern has changed?
Even now also the same pattern has been following, sir.
Okay, sir. Now one more question I wanted to ask. Since that you have made a comparison of the people who write the exam in South India and North India, my question is with respect to the way in which questions are framed compared to South India and North India, what difference you found, or the way in which the questions are being prepared? What level of difficulty you find, or what level of being easy you find?
So the way of difficulty is based on the how much practice you in your profession. In some states they are just asking with the books, sir. In some states they are just asking in practice oriented. How once you become a judge and you sit in dais, they give you a situation like you have to think like a judge and you have to answer the question. And in some examinations they are just asking from the book, and it comes directly from the book, sir. These are the types.
So my understanding from what you say is, in some cases, questions are directly asked from the book. It's a direct question.
Absolutely.
In some states, they ask questions based on your practice.
Yes, sir. This comes based on the states, sir. States which the candidate is appearing, sir.
Sir, can you give me some examples based on this classification, if you have any idea about this?
Yes, sir. Likewise, yes, sir. In this example, you can take an illustration, sir.
Okay.
If we take an illustration, the questions asked from the illustrations are much easy than the questions asked in the judgment, sir. In some states, they give the judgment as the question. In some places, they give the illustration as the question, sir. These are the categories, sir.
What you say is absolutely true, sir. Even based on the experiences what I had as well. With respect to the questions which are asked in, say, Delhi, Bihar, in many of these places, the questions are partly direct and partly based on illustrations.
Yes.
Whereas in states like Tamil Nadu, the questions are basically testing your knowledge. It's not like testing your memory.
Yes,
so what you're trying to say is like in some states they test your memory, in some places they test your understanding of law.
Yes, sir. Exactly, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a great classification, sir. Thanks for giving this great classification.
Yes, sir.
So now my next question is, sir. Now you have achieved a milestone. Say that part you have cleared is you have cleared the preliminary exam in the civil judge. Now you have attended the main exam after that. Then what do you think went wrong in the main exam, which made you not pass the main exam or not clear the main exam? What went wrong in the main exam for you personally?
So for me personally, actually I am a Hindi-based student in Chennai.
Okay.
And the main drawback in the exam is not a drawback, it's an opportunity. The thing is, we have to write a translation paper in Tamil Nadu instead of Tamil Nadu and in respective states. So we have to make a full-fledged practice of the translation paper in the respective states, sir.
Okay.
Then it will be much easier to get through the exam, sir.
So the translation was the thing which spoiled your chance of getting into the interview.
Yeah, it may be, yes, sir.
So according to you, the translation is very essential, and everyone should focus in translation to get through the main exam.
Exactly, sir. Everyone should practice the way of translation, like writing and to English to their own language, which they are going to take the exam, sir.
Okay. So if they are, for example, writing in Hindi belt or say Hindi region, they need to know Hindi in a proper manner, and they should practice translating passages in Hindi. In the same way, if they are writing in Tamil Nadu, they should know Tamil and they should practice well.
Yes, sir. They have to be very well versed in the language of their own, sir.
Okay.
That is
Whatever
the
be the
main
language,
thing.
they should be
Yeah,
in that
there should be
particular state.
well versed, and there should not be used any English words in writing translations, or there should not be any transliterations like division, like junior. The words should be exactly in Hindi, or which state language they are opting. They have to take the language, sir.
So now that I have a quite inspiring question to you, like you being a Hindi speaking person, like how is it you got an interest to write in this particular state in Tamil Nadu instead of writing in some other Hindi speaking state? Why did
Yes,
you
sir.
prefer this state?
Yes, sir, it's much interesting because I have born and brought up in Chennai,
Okay.
and people like me from who are inspired to become a judge must learn Tamil in here. But possibly I learned Hindi, but it's a big breakthrough that I can manage in both the north and southern states, sir.
It's a
I see
nice
it
thing
as
to
an
know this, sir, actually.
opportunity.
It's a nice thing to know this.
Yes, sir.
Your multilingual capability is a great asset, sir, obviously.
Yes, sir.
And it's great to know that you have a multilingual capability. Sir, my next question to you, sir. You would have had your own people who would have helped you in coming up to this extent. Maybe clearing your exam or maybe preparing yourself for the next stage of the exam. You would have got help from so many people. Like, who were them? Like, it could be your parents, it could be your friends. Like, is there any specific people who helped you to cross that preliminary exam and to reach the main exam?
To pass the preliminary exam, everyone should support you, sir. First, your parents should support you, then your professor, then the colleagues, friends, senior, and who are all surrounded to you must support you, sir. Then only we can get a breakthrough this.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir, my next question to you is, sir. Now that you have attended various exams, judicial exams, you would have got an idea as to how a person should prepare. Imagine a person is of Tamil medium. Imagine he is from a Tamil medium, and in that case, his English may not be good. Imagine a person who studied entirely his lifetime or his studies only in English. It may be difficult for him to say or write anything in Tamil. So in that case, what your advice be to them to prepare for this main exams?
Sir, I actually, frankly speaking to this question, the language is not a matter, sir, because the questions framed in judiciary exams in any states, there are bilingual questions. It will be in English and it will be in the language of the particular state. So we can, if a person comes from Tamil Nadu, he can obviously read Tamil and he can answer in Tamil, sir. It's an opportunity given by the public service commissions and how the exams are conducted, sir.
Sir, one more thing I wanted to ask you. You being a Hindi speaking person, my basic question to you is, there may be people like you. For example, people born in Tamil Nadu who might get settled in Mumbai and they could start speaking Hindi and they might be trying to write exams there in Maharashtra after knowing Marathi or whatever be the language. And there may be people born in Delhi who come and settle in Tamil Nadu and try to learn Tamil. So in that case, how much or the level of difficulty what they will have and how they can try to resolve this and what are the steps you took to understand Tamil or learn Tamil?
Yes, sir. This is a practical question because it's people who migrate from one state to another will face such a problem. According to me, I have born and brought up in Chennai. In case if I have born and brought up in Andhra or some other state, I have to learn from basic, or I have to know the grammar of the language and I have to use this, sir. That is the only way to work it out, sir.
So what you're trying to say is if a person wants to write an exam in a state to which he does not belong, in that case he has to learn the grammar and the other basic
yes, sir,
aspects of that particular language and try to understand them and improve
Absolutely.
himself.
Yes, sir. The grammar is must thing to write an exam, sir. In case of translation.
Okay, sir, it's nice to hear. Then one more question I wanted to ask you, sir. Based on technology, like how technology helped you in achieving your success?
Yes, sir. Technology helps me in a lot of ways, sir. Because the technology is world right now. The world is full of technologies. You can, in case of writing in case of any doubts you have, you can easily nowadays we can opt Google or some other search engine optimization, sir. It's very useful for students like me who come from who brought up in Chennai and learns Hindi and thereafter writes an Tamil exam. It's a very good thing, sir.
So now that access to the technology is available to people who are in Chennai, are you aware of the availability of technology outside the metropolitan cities? Do you have any idea, or do you have any experience through your friends who are from remote villages? Or do you have heard them say something about this?
Yes, sir. Nowadays the technology has been very widely spread, sir. And for rural, there may be certain tough situations may arise.
Okay.
But for metropolitan, it's certain
easy. Okay.
Yes,
but
sir.
according to you, like it has also penetrated the rural villages, but not to that extent as in metropolitan cities.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now my next question is, what are all the books you referred? Were you reading only the barracks, or were you reading various huge voluminous books, or were you reading the Supreme Court Digest or Supreme Court Reporter or anything like that, or All India Reporter? Were you referring to all these aspects, or were you only reading the barrack and going to the exam?
For this question, it's the thing is we have to understand what is the law base. First, we have to understand what the law says. Yeah.
Okay.
Thereafter, we have to study the barrack. First and foremost thing is studying the barrack is the essential key for this exam, sir. Then from the barrack, we have to move for judgment. From 1947 till date judgment, we have to study the landmark cases. And based on these judgments and the barracks given, the question will be asked, sir. It will be easy for appearing the exam, sir.
So what you're trying to say is we need to study the judgments what have been given,
yes, sir.
Preferably landmark judgments.
Yes.
And in addition to this, we should also read the barrack.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Now my question is, you would have seen many people who have not succeeded in preliminary exam. They may be your friends, or they may be people known to you, or there may be people who are working in offices known to you. So what do you think, like what mistake they did due to which they didn't get selected in the preliminary exam?
So if you see the mistake, it's based on their surroundings and their atmosphere, sir. First, we have to keep a peaceful atmosphere for studying this exam, sir. Once we have to get in early morning, and we have to study this exam continuously for minimum 8 hours, sir. Then only we can get through these exams, like these types of competitive exams, sir.
So what you're trying to say is, like, if I want to clear the exam, I need to study at least for 8 hours a day.
8 hours, yes, sir.
And to what period, till what period we need to do this? Is it for 1 year or 6 months or 7 months or till the exam comes, or how is it?
No, sir, it's not like keeping in a box. It's like a day-to-day process. Every day we have to read one section, at least one barrack, or at least one section or one illustration from the barrack, because the law is ocean, right?
Yes. It's even I would say, like, even it's more than that.
Yes, sir. It's more than that, because law is ocean, right?
Yes. So what you say is, like, on a daily basis we need to do this.
Yes, sir.
And we should not stop it. We should just keep on continuing it.
Yes, sir.
So, sir, one more thing. If you could give a word of encouragement or inspiration to them. Many people whom I've seen, like, they say, like, I have not passed the exam, I don't want to go to the exam again. They lose their hope they lose their heart. They say like, I will not pass, I don't want to go to this exam again. So to these kind of people, what is your advice?
Sir, ultimately, my advice and my idea on this, because I too had miserable on my civil judge exam. The thing is, at the end of the day, we are gaining some or another knowledge from the book, sir.
Okay.
Like that, like in that perspective, we have to take it, sir. It may be useful for your some other exams, like IVBS or like who are attending below 27 years, they can write a JAG in military exams, and various departmental exams are coming, sir. We can use these knowledges to those exams, sir.
So what you say is like, if you learn law, there are plenty of opportunities
Yes,
which you can
sir.
utilize.
Yes, sir.
And moreover, we should have an inspiration. We should try
Yes,
to
sir.
learn law.
Yes, sir. We have to try to learn law, sir.
Okay. So what you're saying is just don't prepare for the exam. Prepare for knowing the law. Prepare for understanding the law.
Yes, sir.
That should be the intention.
Yes, sir. That's
So
the
this result will be a byproduct of that preparation.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Okay, sir. Now one more question I wanted to ask. Since that you were practicing, I believe you were practicing at that time when you wrote the exam.
Yes, sir.
So what were all the financial constraints what you had when you were preparing for the exam? You would have had some economic problem, financial problem. How you faced all those economic problems and how you crossed those aspects? Because if you are studying for 8 hours, obviously you cannot work. It's very difficult. So how you manage that situation for earning money?
For this question, we have to take a choice only, sir. We have to take a call for them because we, if we leave one only, we can gain a lot, sir.
Okay.
For 6 months, we have to give certain time, at least from the date of notification till the exam. We have to give some hard work for that exam, sir.
Okay.
Then only we can think of the succeeding. We should not see the financial constraint or family constraint or environmental constraint surrounding to us. We have to forget everything, and our mind should be focused on the exams, sir.
So we should
Then
have a
only we
brave
can
heart
get
and
through this.
face
Yes,
everything.
Yes, sir. Then only we
Whatever
can get
comes,
through
we
this
should not
exam.
like
We should not-
let us
yes,
down.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Then another question I wanted to ask is, many say like, sir, I was just keeping on studying. When the exam came, like I felt like I forgot everything. And these kind of things I do hear from some people. And what kind of problem is this? And did you have this problem when you went for the exam?
So forgetting is, it's like forgetting, right?
Yes, yes. They do
Yes.
forget when the exam comes. They study
Forget,
properly, but
yes.
they forget.
So there is nothing called by heart, sir. We have to understand the things.
Okay.
When we understand the things, we should take in a logical sense.
Okay.
Once we take the logical sense and we practice every day, it cannot be forgotten, and it will become a practice like, and it will become a practice, sir. So we should. I think it's an. How to say, it's like irrelevant to getting by heart and forgetting the answers, sir. We have to be practice from day to day basis.
Okay, on a day-to-day basis, we should try to understand the law so that it becomes a practice for you.
Yes, sir.
So the question of forgetting does not arise.
There is
because
no
you
question of
understand
forgetting. Yes. Yes,
Okay.
there is no question of forgetting, first of all.
Okay. Now my next question is, sir, there are 3 stages which you need to cross to become a civil judge. You and everybody knows this fact. Then, in that case, with respect to the mode of preparation or the method of preparation, what are the changes they should make? For example, for preliminary, how they should prepare; for main, how they should prepare; for interview, how they should prepare. To cross all these 3 stages, what kind or what mode they should adapt?
Yes, sir. This is an interesting question. Sir, first we have to, for preliminary, we have to be very speedy in answering the questions, sir.
Okay.
Because the time given for the preliminary exam for each question is nearly to half to 1 minute. Within the half to 1 minute, we have to mark the answer And in case of a wrong answer, there will be a negative mark of 0.25. So the approach for this preliminary exam, we have to be very speedy and very consistent in practice, sir. For mains exam, it's entirely scenario is different. For mains, we have to write, sir. How much we are practicing writing, that much we will be capable to complete the exam, sir. And for interview, again, it's based on oral and way of presentation before the interviewer. The judge may be the interviewer sometimes. So we have to give a great present to during the time of interview, sir.
Okay, sir. And thank you for clarifying this particular aspect, because it is very important for all our viewers and subscribers. Sir, one more aspect which I wanted to ask, sir. Like, how did you maintain a physical and mental balance? How is that your mind and your body coordinated to get the success? Did you do any exercise or meditation or anything like that to ensure that your mind coordinates with your body?
Yes, sir. We have to meditate for at least minimum 15 to 30 minutes for a day, sir.
Okay.
So that we can get a fresh mental health for writing these types of exams, and we have to be. It gives a clear focus for the exam, sir. Or else we can take a course which I have not taken, but I suggest our subscribers to take it, sir. It's called Vipassana or Dhamma.
Okay.
Yes, sir. That is a course. It takes around 10 days. It's all around in India, and it has its branches in India and around the world, sir.
Okay.
So that we can, it gives a clear focus on what we are doing in our life. First, we should be focused. Then only we can achieve rest of the things in our life, sir.
So I heard about this Vipassana meditation, though I am not aware of as to how it is done. I heard that it's very effective.
Yes, sir. It's effective, but I too also want to try this part, sir. In upcoming weeks, I am going to try this, sir.
Oh, it's nice to hear, sir. You're planning to do something constructive. It's nice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And sir, with respect to the books, did you buy all the books or the barracks, or did you utilize the services provided in the library?
Sir, for this question, basically getting a barrack or getting a book from a library. So we have to get a barrack for sure. But for judicial exams, it's not advisable to get all the books for judicial exams. Some of my friends will get all the books which are available in the market. It's not advisable and suggested. It's advisable to get a last 10 years question paper and one practice book for judicial exam. There are various authors based on this.
Okay.
You can search in their own market, sir, because the pattern of the states different, sir.
Okay. If you would suggest some books, if I'd ask you to suggest some books, would you suggest some books for our viewers and subscribers?
My suggestion is based on barracks, sir. I don't suggest such books because again the questions come from there. Based on every state, the books are getting changed. Okay. This won't be applicable only for Tamil Nadu or southern states like Andhra. It may be changing through the states, sir. So they have to search in their own market or in websites, sir.
Okay. Now my next question is, sir, with respect to local laws, how many questions are being asked in local laws in the judicial exams generally? From your experience?
This is a nice question. The thing is, we have to before preparing for judicial exams, we have to read the notifications. What are the syllabus asked in the judiciary exams? so that in the syllabus, what are the local laws the questions are going to be asked. So based on the local laws, we can directly prepare from the syllabus only, sir. The syllabus is the key for the exam, sir.
Okay, sir. So now with respect to the syllabus, is it better to start when they are in the college? Because now the civil judge can be taken even by freshers. Even people without experience, they can appear in the exam and become judges. So that is given in the notification. So when that be the case, can they start their preparation when they enter into the college itself?
Yes, sir. Nowadays, it's a valuable opportunity for many freshers and students who pursue their laws. They can easily get through these exams, sir, because they have a lot of time and they are focused to do this, sir. So it's advisable to start from the beginning of their law courses.
Sir, if you would advise to the college students who are studying law, what would be your advice to them if they want to become a judge in the first attempt?
My advice is to become. My advice to this question is, one should basically one should know the law in either their writing in their exams or appearing before the judge exams. Both they should see like both are same exams only.
Okay.
They should write that they should appear that the exams like they are going to become a judge.
They should have the feeling that they are going to become a judge.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They should have the inner feeling that they are writing a judge exam during their semester exams.
Okay, with that thought process, they should attend the exam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly.
Even the semester exam should be written as if they are writing the judicial exam.
Yes, sir. Exactly. So that the writing of main exam will be easier to at the writing of this exam, this semester exam. It will be a way of practice.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So now my next question is, now in the college days, they write in a detailed manner as if it is the main exam. Then how can they prepare for the preliminary exam? Because their preparation is mainly oriented towards the main exam or in a pattern connected to the main exam. Now, suddenly they come out of the college, they go and write the preliminary exam. Then won't there be some contradiction or contrary nature to these two things?
Yes, sir.
Then how can they manage this?
Yes, sir. I understand that certain law universities conduct examination based on OCR. Sorry, I mean that one word answer.
Optical character recognition.
Yes. No, not optical. That choose the correct answer. One word answer.
One word answers. Okay.
Yes, sir. Some of the universities also give training for writing the exams. This will be helpful.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So some universities are giving one-word answers so that they get trained for the judicial exams.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly.
Sir, now from your perspective, how this YouTube channels and even including my YouTube channels, how they are helping the people to come up based on your experience? Maybe when you started, you might not have seen all those channels cropping up, so many people teaching. But now, after say a period of 2 years, what are the improvement you see from what you have started? Maybe the YouTube channels or WhatsApp groups or even Twitter, or what will be the technological aspect, even Facebook. What difference you see within these 2 years? How much it has improved and how it has reached people, and how much it could help in the success of the people who are writing those exams, judicial exams?
Now the awareness of these exams have been very vast in nature.
Okay.
There are many lot of competitive exam channels in YouTube are widely spread. Even your channel is one of the best in that, sir.
Thank you.
You are
sir.
doing
Thank
a
you
great job, sir. Yes, sir. You are doing a great job in this manner. And there are a lot of telegrams and WhatsApp groups for these exams and Facebook groups for these exams. Nowadays, it's developing and coming out, sir. At the time we were studying, I studied in 2 years back. At that time also, there was no group like group or any channels for guiding me, sir.
Oh, it's nice to hear, sir. And it's indeed a great pleasure for me to do this job because it is giving me an opportunity to create or open up a new era where they can try to understand law in a better perspective.
Yes, sir. Exactly, sir.
And this technology has reached even the nook and corner of the country, almost, I would say.
Yes, sir.
And sir, my next question would be, though it might sound something personal, but still I wanted to ask this question to you. You would have had plenty of experiences during your practice, even after you got enrolled. You might have had plenty of experiences with your seniors or with your juniors or with people who are associates in your office or with the court staffs or with the judges. If you'd like to share any experience which would be helpful to our subscribers and viewers, which could give them a motivation or which could encourage them or which could inculcate confidence in them, you could please share with us, sir, that particular experience, if you have any.
My practice experience is around 5 years, sir.
Okay.
Nowadays the judges sitting home, nowadays the judges in dais are very friendly to the junior advocates, sir. They support fully to the junior advocate. They give full support to the junior advocates and give ideas how to they give an opportunity to argue in the matters. Yes, sir. These are the experience, sir.
So did you have such experience? Well, like when you were a junior, you were permitted to argue the case. The judge asked you to argue the case. Did you had any such experience?
Yes, sir. Several times the judge has pressured the juniors to argue the matters. And in certain times I too had argued in matters, sir. And the judge has given passed an award in favor of me also, sir.
Okay. So they gave an award in your favor. That was a good thing to hear. When being a junior, you did get an opportunity to argue. That in itself is a very big aspect. Yes. And sir, to conclude, sir, what would be your final advice to all the judicial exam aspirants?
Only one thing is to practice, sir. Except practice, there is nothing can be done in this world. This is my only advice, sir.
So they just need to keep on practicing till they succeed.
Practicing, yes, sir. Till succeed. After succeed also they have to keep on practicing.
Oh, even after success they should keep on practicing.
Yes,
okay.
The judge is not the only destiny. And after that also they have to keep on practicing till the retirement of life. Once they stop practice, the next day is the retirement. That is my only advice, sir.
Oh, okay. You mean to say like once I stop practice, I'm no more a person who is in practice.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not a practicing advocate or practicing judge or whatever it may be.
Sir.
So immaterial of whatever post you are in.
Yes, sir. Immaterial of the post.
So you just keep on practicing. So it's a nice thing to know, sir. A practice gives a man great confidence.
Yes, exactly.
And that is a fact. And even I used to say like they used to watch, if they are watching a video or if they're studying something, they need to do it again and again so that they get their mind trained to that particular aspect and they get success in the first attempt itself. Yes. That is a very good idea what you have provided, sir. Sir, I personally thank you for sparing your time and particularly sparing your experiences with respect to all these aspects, with respect to the exams, what you have cleared and how you cleared all those exams and what are all the steps you took to do this. It was a nice time to speak to you, sir. Thank you for rendering this opportunity to our viewers as well as the subscribers. I personally thank you for consenting or accepting to have this telephonic interview with you, sir.
Thank you very much for this opportunity, sir. It's a very nice time to have a telephonic conversation with you, sir. Thank you so much.
And one more request I'd like to make, sir. Because generally our subscribers, viewers, they used to raise questions to the people who are being interviewed. Generally they do it. So if they raise any questions, in that case, would you be interested in answering those questions, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm interested to do this, sir.
Because they'll be raising their questions by way of comments.
Yes, sir. This sharing knowledge is the gaining knowledge, sir.
That's a nice thing to hear.
So we
sir.
have to comment for those answers. We will have an answer to those comments.
Okay. So if there is comments, I'll be asking those questions again by way of a telephonic conversation, wherein I'll be asking those questions to you. I'll obviously be saying their names and asking those questions. You can answer those questions, sir. It would be a great enlightenment with respect to law-related aspects to our viewers and subscribers.
Yes, sir. It's my pleasure, sir, to give an answer for those aspiring students.
Okay. I'm thanking you once more, sir. And thanks one and all for this great interview what we have provided us. Thank you for the time you have spent with us.
Thank you for this wonderful, valuable opportunity, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.